Welcome everybody to a brand new video. It's me, your host Dark, and today we're gonna be reacting to the House Eater, aka Man-Eating Building, aka SCP-1051 by Dr. Bob. I'll leave a link to this video down below in the description. Now let's get straight into it.
A small convertible sports car rumbles down a desert road.
I wish I had one of those.
Dust high into the air behind it. The driver is sharply dressed and looks at himself in the rear-view mirror.
Sharply dressed? You know who else is sharply dressed right now? You know who? Bruh. You know who? Yeah, that's right, me. And you could be as sharply dressed as me as well if you hop on over to darkwear.com and you cop the brand new merch. So go do yourself a favor and go to darkwear.com, sign up, and you'll even get 10% off your first order.
Giving his sunglasses a slight adjustment.
So where's he going?
He knows he looks as good as he feels. And why shouldn't the producer of Hollywood's 9th most successful film in the month of September be happy?
Facts.
The car comes to a sudden stop in front of a cluster of buildings, which appear to be the only structures in this vast, otherwise empty desert.
It's kinda sus.
The producer hops out of the car and surveys the desolate location. The cracked concrete airstrip, the weather-beaten buildings, the endless, lonely desert stretching on for miles in every direction. "This place is great," the producer says out loud to no one in particular. The whole location would be perfect for his new movie, which is set entirely at a desert airstrip and tells the story of a lonely airplane mechanic who falls in love with a female bounty hunter chasing an escaped convict.
I want to see that movie. And do y'all want to see that movie? Smash like if you do right now.
A tale as old as time. But now, where's the guy who called him? He kept rambling about wanting to make a documentary about the desert or something, but that doesn't matter.
Oh
now.
no, I think
he doesn't
it was
realize
a trap.
what a great filming location he's sitting on. The producer calls out, "Hello?" But the only response is the desert breeze. He takes off his sunglasses and looks around. He sees that the doors to the hangar are cracked. Maybe the guy who owns this place is in there.
Bro, get back in your car and just drive back to the studio, because this right here, you probably won't survive it. That's all I'm gonna say.
The producer walks inside the hangar, but abruptly stops. His mouth goes agape. He can't believe what he's seeing. This place is even better than the guy on the phone had described it. The hangar is huge and completely empty. He could probably build almost all the sets in the hangar, maybe even shoot the entire picture out here. He'd save a fortune on the budget by not having to pay the soundstage rates that the studios charge on the movie lots in LA.
Okay.
You beautiful genius, he thinks to himself. The movie could flop and still be a financial success. But where's the guy who called him?
I feel like there's no guy.
He's a very important producer and doesn't have time to wait around for some desert nobody who runs a two-bit airport. All right, that's it. He's leaving. The producer turns to leave, but the doors of the hangar suddenly slide shut with a bang.
I told you, you should have just got him back into your car and driven back to LA or wherever you're from. So this right here is probably the man-eating building. Not a lot is known about a man-eating building except for the fact that I'm guessing it's disguised as a building and it probably eats men, women, anything human. So Dr. Bob, let us know what this man-eating building is.
Is this some kind of joke? He walks up to the hangar doors and starts banging on them, but they don't move. "Hello? Hey, I'm trapped in here. What's the big deal?"
You're stuck.
Still no response.
You're gone.
Just what is going on?
You're finished.
The producer is getting worried. Was this some kind of a setup? Is he about to get robbed?
Worse.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they took his car. He's 9 payments behind on it anyway. But geez, is it hot in here.
How is he 9 payments behind on his car? Isn't he supposed to be like a super successful producer? He had like the biggest movie of the month, September. How the heck are you behind on your car payments? How does that even happen? I'm not a movie producer. I don't know how those guys roll, so maybe it's a normal thing to be behind on your car payments.
It was hot outside, but it's even worse in this hangar. And whoever said that the desert air was dry? An idiot, that's who. The humidity in here is stifling.
Oh no, is this what I think it is? Is this man-eating building? Is it actually barbecuing him before eating him? You know, to get the right taste? Maybe even gonna get some spices on him and stuff? Oh, that's gonna be so sick. I mean, that's gonna be so sad for the producer if he gets barbecued alive by a building and then eaten. But it's a cool idea that he'll get cooked and actually get spices and stuff thrown on him, right?
The producer loosens his collar and tugs at it, trying to cool off. "All right, I've had just about enough. If you don't let me out of here, there's going to be a big problem for you, fella."
Does he have a phone?
Just then, the producer hears a noise behind him, coming from the dark deeper in the hangar. The producer doesn't react, though.
What is that?
He needs to play it cool. He bends down and pretends to tie his shoe. and takes the Derringer pistol out of his ankle holster.
Oh, shoot.
He stands up and spins around,
He
pointing the
don't mess
gun in front of
around.
him.
He don't
He
mess
can't see
around.
anyone in the darkness. This is your last chance. I'm not playing around here. The strange noise comes again, a low rumbling noise, and the producer stumbles forward. What just
What's happening?
It felt like the floor rippled and pushed him forward. There, it happened again.
What?
And again, the producer screams. What's going on?
He's getting
the
sucked
rumbling,
in.
growling noise grows louder as the floor keeps rippling and pushing him forward.
He's getting
like a
swallowed.
wave rolling through the solid ground.
Literally getting
Is this
swallowed.
an earthquake? The producer is knocked off his feet, and still the floor keeps pushing him forward, towards where that horrible growling noise is coming from.
Oh no.
He tries to stand, but he can't. The floor is moving too much.
This is actually creepy.
He tries to crawl, but keeps getting moved closer and closer to the source of the now deafening roar that seems to be coming from... What is that?
What is
The
it?
producer screams and fires his gun at the thing in front of him. In the flashes of the gunfire, he can finally see it. The thing that he's being pushed into. A giant, gaping maw, filled with a mass of gnashing, grinding teeth.
What
How
the
unlucky
heck?
for this movie producer that he didn't realize until it was too late that the location for his new movie would be the last one that he'd ever scout.
I saw that coming. I saw it coming. Amazing place in the middle of nowhere, and you got lured there with an amazing opportunity. I could have told him right to his face it was a trap. Of course, I couldn't tell him he'd be eaten by a literal man-eating building, but still, I would have saved him.
Because as you have probably already figured out, this unknown building in the middle of the desert isn't at all what it appears to be.
It's not.
And in fact, is quite known to the SCP Foundation as SCP-1051. SCP-1051 isn't actually a building at all, but in fact is a living organism. This creature's shell, which resembles an aircraft hangar,
Like a
is
snail?
quite large and measures roughly 700 meters by 500 meters by
That's
60
huge.
meters. It is a completely immobile organism and acts as an ambush predator, luring its prey to it through a number of different forms of sociological and psychological manipulation.
Like what?
SCP-1051 attempts to bring prey to it in a number of ways, but its primary method is by spreading certain ideas into popular culture. It will constantly try to connect to orbiting satellites and use them to beam out television signals, images, and other forms of media. It has been measured as having around a 25% success rate in connecting with and getting its message carried by the satellites.
Okay, but then what? Like, if I get a picture on my phone of an airport hangar in the middle of the desert, it's not gonna make me want to go there at all. If anything, it's gonna make me not want to go there. Because how the heck did this weird picture get on my phone? I'm never going there. This is kind of suspicious. Does anybody find this suspicious? Because I do.
And may have the ability to transmit regular radio broadcasts or connect to standard telephone
Who the
lines
heck
as
listens
well.
to radio?
The messages that SCP-1051 sends out tend to fall into the category that could be termed as conspiracy theories.
What?
Most of which are about itself. It has uploaded information to various conspiracy websites that has included reports of spaceships being held and reverse engineered in its hangar,
What?
descriptions of so-called men in black using its location as a site for extraterrestrial contact. It has attempted to spread rumors that it is a site used as a testing location for any number of top-secret devices, including energy weapons, weather control devices, teleportation machines, and impossible propulsion systems.
What? So, this man-eating building, it boasts like conspiracy theories about, oh, here in this building in the middle of the desert, we got like aliens and stuff. And then obviously people who want to know the truth would think there might be like hidden aliens and stuff. They go there to investigate and then they find out there are no aliens there. It's a completely normal building, except for the fact that it has a huge gaping mouth with like a million teeth and it will probably eat you as soon as you enter. But other than that, those conspiracy theories are not true. Oh, poor guys. Anybody who goes in there, let's pay respects to them by smashing that like button.
SCP-1051 has also attempted to spread through radio and television transmissions
How does that work?
it is a site used by a United States shadow government. It's made at least a handful of calls to Hollywood-based production companies in an attempt to get them to further spread its information, as well as contacting various tabloid newspapers. Perhaps most nefarious of all, it has even sent orders to U.S. military intelligence operatives posing as a senior official and
What?
ordering them to reveal SCP-1051's location. SCP-1051 appears desperate to make its location known to curious outsiders, all in an attempt to get them to come find it,
Must
so
be
it
hungry.
can lure them inside of itself and feed.
But wait, did he not say the building? It's a shell. So there's probably like an actual body and stuff inside the building, you know, being covered by the buildings as a shell. You know what I mean? That makes sense. So what does this creature actually look like? We only know what its mouth looks like, but I feel like the rest of its body could be even more terrifying.
And the anatomical structure of SCP-1051 is perfectly suited to this task. Its bizarre biological structure consists of a large tongue, which looks very similar to a paved runway. The tongue leads directly into a set of large airplane hangar doors that could be called the organism's mouth.
What?
This door mouth opens up to what looks like a hangar, but is actually the gizzard-like organ of 1051, where it grinds its prey into a fine paste to prepare it for digestion. The next building is the creature's stomach, where it breaks down the liquefied prey into nutrients and separates the waste products that it can't digest.
Okay, kinda TMI, too much information. I'm kinda disgusted right now, but also intrigued. So where does all the waste go to, Mr. Bob?
The nutrients are transported to the area where SCP-1051's brain is thought to reside, while the waste is ejected out of the structure. Finally, there are what appears to be a set of antennae on the side of the building. These information distribution organs extend below the ground as well, where many more antennae and wires are thought to exist, and give 1051 the ability to send out multiple television, radio, and other signals.
Okay, here's an idea. What if we blow up the building? What happens then?
SCP-1051 was discovered in 1947.
Wow.
When an egg-shaped structure was reported to have crash-landed in the desert of the American Southwest,
So it was an
near
egg?
the town of Roswell, New Mexico. The United States Air Force took this strange egg into its possession.
Wait, so if it landed somewhere, I'm assuming it came from the sky. Does that mean it actually is an alien? Wow, that's kinda convenient. It's posting, you know, conspiracy theories about aliens, and it's an alien itself. But how did it turn from this egg into like a whole airplane hangar? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Moved it to its current location in Nevada for observation and research. The Air Force scientists who were assigned to the object first thought that they were dealing with a meteorite, the one that was composed of some yet unknown material. They soon discovered that the object was hollow and was filled with some kind of liquid.
Weird.
Strangest of all, though, was when they detected something inside that liquid core.
What?
And it was moving. They studied the object for years until one day, something happened that would end their research for good.
What happened?
The egg hatched. One night, as Air Force Sergeant Burnson and two scientists, Dr. James and Dr. Gold, were going about their regular work analyzing the object, they heard a strange sound.
Uh-oh.
When they looked at the object, they saw that a crack had begun to form on the outer shell. This
Oh boy.
cracking continued for about 5 minutes until something finally broke through the shell.
Wait a second. I think I just realized something. Could this building where they're in right now be the building that this man-eating building took over? That this SCP took over? That would make so much sense. Why it's a flippin' airplane hangar. That's because that's where they took the egg, and then it took the building over.
An alien creature began to emerge from its shell, and the men all turned to run. But something reached out with a long tentacle-like arm and grabbed Dr. James. It pulled the scientist in and seemed to absorb him right into its body.
And it got bigger.
Sergeant Burnson and Dr. Gold managed to escape the airplane hangar and send out a distress signal. And it was this cry for help that described an attack by an alien creature that would put the object firmly on the SCP Foundation's radar. As Sergeant Burnson was sending out the distress signal, Dr. Gold tapped him on the shoulder and pointed towards the hangar where the egg-like object had been stored.
What's up?
The two men watched as the hangar bulged and expanded, like something was pressing against the walls from inside.
I knew it.
The hangar suddenly collapsed.
What?
And they watched as the creature looked to writhe around in the debris. But then a new shell began to form around the alien. It grew larger, expanding and shifting until suddenly it took on nearly the exact form as the hangar that once stood there. SCP Foundation agents arrived at the site not long after and took control of the area. They discovered almost immediately that the building-shaped creature was anything but dormant. This extraterrestrial that had been born from an egg and then taken the form of an airplane hangar was ejecting its own eggs.
It's
The building
laying
would
eggs.
occasionally blast eggs up and into the sky. Several of these eggs were stopped and reclaimed by the Foundation.
Wait. So it's what? So there's multiple of these things potentially just existing in the world? That's terrifying. I'm never going into any building ever in my life. Any one of those buildings could eat me alive, so I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna stay outside forever.
But others managed to slip past and escape the Earth's atmosphere. making them impossible to recover.
Where are they going?
The Foundation also soon detected that radio signals were being emitted by the hangar, and set up a small radio nearby which would allow them to both receive and send signals back to the creature that was now designated as SCP-1051.
They were sending signals back? What were they saying then?
Dr. Richardson, the Foundation researcher on site who was leading the investigation into 1051, found the frequency that it was transmitting on and attempted to speak to the creature. After asking if 1051 could hear it, the creature actually responded.
With what?
And it seemed to have a very simple request. Give. When Dr. Richardson asked it to elaborate, asking, "Give what?" 1051 responded, "Want feed. Bring food."
Just wants food.
When the doctor told 1051 that it wouldn't be getting any food, the anomaly immediately sent out a new transmission, stating, "Area 51 is currently being controlled by the SCP Foundation, a shadow government organization that has designated it SCP-1051.
What?
Here are a few names of the operatives." Dr. Richardson cut SCP-1051 off and ordered a D-Class personnel to be sent inside the creature, hopefully appeasing it and stopping it from sending any more broadcasts out about the highly secretive organization.
Wow, so they didn't want to give SCP-1051 food, and then the building actually threatened to expose the whole SCP Foundation. Then they sent in a prisoner. That's kind of messed up. See, if I was the person running this place, I'd have been like, hey, hold up. Maybe this man-eating building, maybe people are its favorite food, but maybe we can compromise a little bit and it'll eat a Big Mac. We haven't tried. What if this man-eating building actually loves Big Macs? We don't even have to send any people in there. Has anybody even tried that? Maybe we can turn it vegetarian and it'll only eat vegetables. I feel like that's a good idea. Do you guys do as well? Let me know down below in the comments section. But let's see how they dealt with this.
When asked why it was sending these signals, SCP-1051 responded that it was trying to make humans curious. It appeared that its hunting strategy was to flood the world with conspiracy theories about itself. This would then cause interested humans to come explore the location. And once they entered the hangar, their curiosity would reward them with an encounter with the alien that they had been seeking. SCP-1051 also explained that the eggs that it was ejecting were its babies, and it seemed quite upset that the Foundation had intercepted some of them as they were on their orbital escape trajectory. But where had SCP-1051 come up with these conspiracy theories? Had it been studying our culture and the boom of science fiction in the 1940s to make up stories it thought would lead people to it? Foundation researcher Dr. Richardson had a hunch that there was something else going on. He next spoke to Dr. Gold, the other Air Force scientist who had been studying the egg-shaped meteorite. He asked him to describe SCP-1051's first victim, Dr. James. Dr. Gold told him that Dr. James was obsessed with his job, and that spread into his personal life. He was a real sci-fi nut. Dr. James apparently loved B-movies, especially ones about aliens and UFOs. He was convinced that the government had both in their possession already, and his research on the strange, egg-shaped meteorite only added to his confidence in that fact. Had SCP-1051 somehow absorbed this knowledge from its first meal here on Earth, and was now using it as a way to lure in new, inquisitive prey? Dr. Richardson thought it may go even deeper than that. When he played a recording of the first conversation he'd had with SCP-1051 for Dr. Gold, the one where 1051 told him it wanted him to bring food, Dr. Gold was left shocked.
Why?
The voice he was hearing belonged to Dr. James.
What?
SCP-1051 remains in the Nevadan desert, and its area is patrolled at all times by no less than 20 Foundation personnel in uniform.
I know, I'm never going to Nevada. Y'all got man-eating buildings over there. I'm A-okay. I'm not going there. I don't want to get eaten by a building I enter. I'm good.
That resembled those worn by members of the United States Air Force. They are authorized to shoot at intruders, but not with the intention to kill. Instead, only as a means to scare them away.
What the heck was that?
Should any intruders come within 1 kilometer of SCP-1051, they are to be detained and administered Class A amnestics.
Wait.
Since SCP-1051's primary danger stems from its ability to spread false information.
Hold on, Dr. Bob. Did I just see that clearly? Was that... Oh my guys, my mind is blown. Check this out.
only as a means to scare them away.
Area 51. So apparently Area 51 is not a secret military base. It's just a front because Area 51 is actually SCP-1051. Holy crap. Hope my mind is blown. That's what Area 51 is. It's a man-eating building and they're just pretending that it's a secret military base so nobody will try to visit it. Genius. Absolutely genius.
Since SCP-1051's primary danger stems from its ability to spread false information,
Yeah.
the SCP Foundation's main containment efforts have been focused on stopping its broadcasts.
How?
Agents are to respond to any civilian rumors or questions about SCP-1051 with denial and ridicule, to make it clear that these are nothing but stories and that the person is stupid for believing them. Should they exhibit any knowledge beyond the normal myths and rumors, the application of Class A amnestics is also permitted.
What?
Any satellites orbiting near 1051's location are to be monitored for interference to their transmissions, and if any antenna with an unknown purpose are discovered within a 10-kilometer area of the building, they are to be destroyed or surrounded by a Faraday cage. SCP-1051 may not be able to move, but its ability to reproduce and the difficulty that the Foundation still faces in stopping its spread of disinformation has led to it being classified as Euclid.
Alright guys, that was actually pretty insane. We learned a lot of stuff. Apparently Area 51 is just a man-eating building. That's way more normal than a place with hidden aliens and stuff. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash like, subscribe, and go check out these other videos on your screen right now. And I'll see all of you next time. Peace!